Detroit average per gallon gas price at $3.29. What's the reason behind this drop? According to Adrian Woodland of AAA, it's simple supply and demand economics. Quote, as demand remains low and stocks grow, drivers will likely continue to see pump prices decrease through this week, and closed quote. Michigan gas prices, I should continue down by saying, quote, Michigan gas prices continue to fall, with motorists now paying almost 80 cents less than this time a month ago, and closed quote. In Michigan, drivers are paying on average about $51 to fill a 15-gallon tank. The national per gallon average cost of gas is $3.41. According to this article from the Detroit Free Press, the most expensive gas prices on average in Michigan are in Jackson and Traverse City at $3.64 per gallon, and in Grand Rapids at $3.61 per gallon. The least expensive, in addition to here in Metro Detroit, are in Lansing at $3.40 per gallon and Flint, $3.44 per gallon. Finally, making headlines today on CivicCenterTV.com's local news page is a local weather update from MLive's Mark Torregrossa, who says, expect a snowy future ahead. All is quiet on the snow front for now, but that will soon change, according to Torregrossa. Friday and into the weekend, expect a weather system to begin cycling through the local area, including some accumulation of snow. Tonight, light rain across the central lower peninsula. Thursday, we'll see some snow in the upper peninsula, with accumulating snow beginning Friday and into the weekend in the UP. Friday night is also the night to watch for these snowflakes across lower Michigan. Temperatures, however, will remain relatively tame during this period. Both today, Wednesday, and Friday, you can expect temperatures to range from about 40 to 45 degrees, with Friday and Saturday easing us into the 30s as we entered those snowier temperature ranges. Next week, according to Torregrossa, it gets even snowier in the Great Lakes state, and appears we may be headed for a white Christmas. See more of his report and all of those headlines on our website at CivicCenterTV.com. On our local news page, just click on local news at the top of the page, or type in CivicCenterTV.com/local-news to find these stories, as well as links to updates on COVID-19 from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention at the federal level, the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services at the statewide level, and locally, where we originate our broadcast in Oakland County from the Oakland County Health Division. We have a great show ahead on this Tuesday edition of the Megacast. Coming up next, we'll talk about a beloved playful pastime for kids, Legos, and a twist, robots. Stay tuned. This is the Megacast.
Hey Laker fans, do you know a friend or neighbor that volunteers in Greater West Bloomfield? We would love to help you recognize them at the 51st Annual Michigan Week Awards. Countless members of the communities of Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and West Bloomfield give their time and talent daily without regard for recognition. You can help recognize these individuals and organizations at our awards breakfast next year on May 12th, 2023. Nominate your neighbor or organization starting January 28th, 2023. Go to MichiganWeek.org for details.
I'm feeling good.
Let's savor these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date.
My Michigan TV is streaming everywhere on Apple TV, Roku, Fire TV, and more smart TV apps. My Michigan TV is on your phone too. Take us with you wherever you go. Just search for My Michigan TV on your favorite app store or visit mymitv.com. All Michigan, streaming everywhere. My Michigan TV.
Can I ask you a question? Why do you want to get the COVID-19 vaccine?
I don't like getting sick. The virus will die. It will be easy to not catch it. Keep my family safe and keep playing soccer. Because I love being vaccinated.
What's your hope for everyone?
I hope everybody gets the vaccine to keep safe and strong. Be like happy, having fun everywhere. Everyone stay safe and hope you get the vaccine.
Welcome back to the Megacast, our live daily TV, radio, and streaming show looking into all things Michigan. I'm Tyler Kieft. Learn more about our program by visiting civiccentertv.com/megacast, where you'll find more information on all of our partnering stations across Oakland County and statewide on outlets such as My Michigan TV, and find all of our full shows and each individual interview on demand as well. civiccentertv.com/megacast is the place to go for that. A place you can go for a little bit of fun with the family and get your kids involved with play and also with learning, especially in some of those STEM areas, is the Robot Garage, with 2 locations in the Metro Detroit area in both Rochester Hills and Birmingham. Joining us on the program today, the co-founder of the Robot Garage, Sarah Jacobs. Sarah, thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much for having us today.
Yeah, glad to have you on to talk about this. Really interesting what you do and the services that you provide. First off, just give us a little bit of a history of the Robot Garage and tell us about your locations in our local area.
So my family started this business in 2011. We have 3 daughters, and the oldest, Jane, was definitely heading into STEM. She was born to be an engineer and all those things, and there was no place in the area to do what she loved to do on a regular basis. My husband's an engineer. I hated math and science growing up. I felt like I was bad at all of that. And I followed my kid into business. So we started the Robot Garage. And since that time, I've learned to love math and science, along with about 100,000 kids in the area who have, taken our classes or gone to our camps or our field trips. And my daughter's now graduated from college, and I'm still at the Robot Garage.
And so, Sarah, of course, the Robot Garage, robots right in the name. It's something that you can interact with, or kids can interact with in these programs, in these camps, and more that you offer.
Mm-hmm.
But what's also a key element of what you provide is play with Legos. And when people think about Legos, they think about it's a children's toy. It's something that's been around for decades, for generations. But they're also really functional and can be used for a number of different teaching purposes as well. So why also add Legos into the fold in addition to robots?
Question. Lego actually got into the kids' robotic business in the late 1990s. They were really the first ones there. And from that came this huge competition. If you hear about those big robot competitions with kids every year, a lot of them are participating in this Lego-based robotics program. We have a great organization here called First in Michigan that heads up teams at every level and runs great competitions. And we kind of veer off where they do great competitions, and we do more day in and day out workshops, classes, camps. Lego is such a great portal of entry for all kids. Every kid loves Lego. One of the great things about it is there's nothing fragile about it. No matter what you do, it's going to come together. If it breaks, you can put it back together. So to take that base that's got no intimidation factor and start building robots with it is a natural. We teach video game design and coding, and we actually use video games as sort of another portal of entry. We like to meet kids where they are. They already love video games. Let's use that as a way to teach coding. They already love Lego. Let's use that as a way to teach engineering, robotics.
So, Sarah, what is it about these programs, these camps that you provide that helps to bridge some of those gaps? Because like you mentioned, your daughters, your husband, they were always into math and science, but you weren't an enthusiast of that. Many kids aren't naturally into those kinds of things. So how does your business then bridge those gaps and make it interesting and fun for these kids to have these learning experiences?
I think you asked exactly the right question. How do you make it interesting and fun? And we start with fun. We feel like, the statistics are still lousy. I think something like 60% of kids by 4th grade have decided they're not good at math and science, whatever that means. So on one hand, you've got this more formal, traditional education model. And then you've got this after school arena where the Robot Garage lives. And we can kind of do our own thing. So we focus on fun. We know our programs are good. We've designed all our curriculum in-house. The people who design the curriculum teach the programs, so they're constantly being tweaked and edited. But I think the greatest compliment we hear is when we'll be in a school doing a field trip and the principal will walk down the hall and say, "What is going on?" because of all the screaming. And they'll walk in and they'll say, we've never seen 100% of our kids engaged before. And for us, that's a win. Different kids are going to pick up different lessons at each activity, but we are so committed to trying to make sure every child has fun and meeting kids where they are. Some kids may come to us with 3 years of robotics experience. We're there for them. Some kids may just want to try something. We have these one-day camps coming up for holidays in December. It's a great way to go spend a couple hours at the Robot Garage and just see what you think. Take a camp. We like tastings. We like to give kids introductions without making it too big of a commitment.
We're joined by Sarah Jacobs, the co-founder of the Robot Garage, on today's edition of the Megacast. You can find more information in a few ways, actually. The robotgarage.com is their website. You can also send them an email, programs@therobotgarage.com, or call them 248-723-9100, 248-723-9100, with locations in Rochester Hills and in Birmingham. And as we continue to talk about these programs that you provide, these different services that are provided by the Robot Garage, give us some more insight into that and elaborate on some of those programs so families can know, or educators can know, exactly what kind of things their kids can engage in at the Robot Garage.
So we do 3 main areas. We do after school classes. You can join every month. We have new classes starting. We have birthday parties, which are a really good way to get all kids involved. We see a lot of parents self-selecting. We see parents come in sometimes with their son for a Robot Garage class, and their daughter is definitely interested. We're very hands-on. You can see them playing with robots in the store, and they can't wait to, come in and play. But the parents will say, oh, we're going to ballet. Your brother goes here. So at birthday parties, that doesn't happen. You invite your neighborhood or you invite your class, and it's great because you just get a whole group of kids and they have so much fun. And then we do summer camps, 1 week summer camps, and we do 1-day holiday camps. The holiday camps coming up in December will only be at our Birmingham location, but we've got 3 different themes. There's a Lego Masters Pokemon theme. There is a video game design theme, and there is a robot battle theme. So they all have a good mixture of Lego and robots and coding. And then the other thing we do is, field trips. What I was going to say to you, it was when we were hit very hard for COVID, we are completely hands-on, and we totally shut down our locations. But what that did was it forced us to learn how to teach virtually, which we didn't think we could do, but we piloted our programs with a number of our really amazing families. And out of that grew a subscription program. So we, as of a year ago, started shipping monthly kits of Lego and Lego robot projects everywhere in the country. We've got people as far as California and Canada. And then that goes along with 3 hours of class time. We pre-record our classes, so a child can sit down at a kitchen table anywhere in the country on their own schedule and keep up with our classes, building their own Lego robots every month. And that's been for us an amazing discovery that kids can not only learn virtually with hands-on, but in a lot of cases, especially for different learners, the virtual is almost better because the child can go at their own pace. They can speed up the video if they want to go faster. They can slow it down and pause and rewind if they need more time with those fine motor skills at that age. And we actually were so concerned the first time we started shipping that we were going to get calls from people all over the country who couldn't follow along, no matter how hard we tried. We've shipped thousands of kits at this point, and I think thousands of projects. We've only had 2 calls in a year for people asking for help. Everybody else it worked. So that was a great discovery for us.
You can find more information, including info on their subscription services and more, by going to the website, therobotgarage.com. Winter classes and other recurring classes throughout the year, as well as virtual programs, can also be found on their website. Again, that's therobotgarage.com. They have 2 locations, one in Birmingham, one in Rochester Hills. And Sarah, for you, you're a parent, and so you've seen this in your own kids, but also for those educators, for those other parents out there that bring their kids into your business, what is it like for you and for those that work at the Robot Garage to experience all those kind of aha moments where things click, or even just the moments where kids realize they can have a lot of fun learning about math and science without going through the traditional rote memory learning of being in the classroom.
You said it. I mean, we have this corny expression. We want to give every customer child an aha moment every day, but that goes for us too. Those aha moments are contagious. And, it's interesting, even with the labor shortages right after COVID and all of that, we somehow managed to keep our core staff, thankfully, and have a really amazing group of people. I think kids, young people I think everyone's looking for meaning in what they do now and at work. And the Robot Garage has meaning. Helping kids has meaning. We may never know what kids we've made a difference for in this world, but I think the feeling is we're giving it a good shot every day. It's an interesting thing. I just seeing kids, those eyes open up and seeing it. We have a wow built into every single project we do. So at the end of every step-by-step mechanical project, there's this moment when a child pushes a button or uses a sensor and everything works. And to have that happen and that reward and see that in a child's face is just magical.
More information can be found on these programs so you can experience them with your kids yourself at therobotgarage.com. Therobotgarage.com, the website. You can call them 248-723-9100, 248-713-9100, or email them programs@therobotgarage.com for all the information you may need, or get your questions answered as well. And Sarah, as we continue on, we know that there's such a focus now in trying to get more young girls and women to go into STEM careers. We think about some of these careers and career fields, and even just STEM interest in general tends to be more of a boys' club, but there's growing interest from girls and growing interest from women to be in these professions. How does that become a focus, or how do you utilize your business and what you do to help elevate some of these girls into these areas of interest and tap into those interests they may have and show them they can turn these into careers?
Right. So, I think of the best things we've done over the past 10 years in that area are with partnerships. We partnered for many years with the Girl Scouts of Southeast Michigan to do a robotics day with First in Michigan. For a long time. That was a great program. The kids would come in, the troops would come in with their moms, and we would challenge them to build sumo robots and compete in battle with them. We've worked with some of the really generous foundations in the Detroit community have sponsored programs where we'll go in and do like an all-girls robotics camp. One of the things we see on site at our locations is by the time you get to middle school, it's probably 80% or more boys, not girls. And I had a daughter who wanted to do robotics enough that she was okay walking into a classroom like that and being the only girl or one of the only two girls. But that's a really hard ask of a young woman, especially a middle school girl or an upper elementary school girl. So one of the things we found is when we can isolate like a whole week for summer camp for only girls at all ages, there's a whole different dynamic that goes on there that is nurturing and that lets girls feel safe and comfortable exploring things they might not feel comfortable exploring in a room where they're one of the only females. We bring into a program like that, we'll bring in a mentor from the business community, from the STEM community. It could be a scientist, an engineer at one of the car companies. We love to partner real life engineers with a project that's age appropriate so that a child can really envision themselves doing what the person talking to them is doing in real life. And a lot of mentorship. I mean, I remember walking around the first girls' camp we did, and with the woman who had come from the Ford Foundation had sponsored that. And the woman from Ford walked around and gave her phone number to a couple of the middle school girls saying, if you have questions as you get older and you just want advice, please feel free to call me. And I always was so touched that she had done that.
We're joined by Sarah Jacobs, the co-founder of the Robot Garage. On today's edition of the Megacast, more information can be found at therobotgarage.com. Sarah, a couple more minutes with you before we'll have to move on today. Anything else that we haven't discussed yet about the Robot Garage or upcoming programs that we should be keeping an eye out for?
I would say, you hit on something asking about women. We're so thrilled about the way that subscription programs have been working for kids at home. And I would say if you have a child who's, for whatever reason, who's more comfortable at home working on something new like robotics and engineering, I would say try our subscription program. You can do it a month at a time and cancel at any time. You can do a 3-month bundle and save a little bit. It's a really good holiday gift. Or have them try one day in person at camp with us and in December, see how it goes. If it's a good fit, you'll know more about what you want to sign them up for in the summer. And if it's not, you sent them to a place with Lego for a day and it wasn't so bad. It was probably really fun. I would say that. And the other thing I would say to parents is, I think most of us, I'm older than most parents at this point, but I think a lot of us grew up in a world where people like my husband were told, you're going to be the next engineer. You're good at math and science. The rest of you, let's work on something else. And that is no longer true. We live in a world, people say, what's STEM? Well, my question is, what isn't STEM? Everything in the world is STEM now. Every kid will know how to use a smartphone and sensors. And at some point, they'll have robots in their lives of some sort. And to me, this is as fundamental as teaching someone how to swim. They don't have to be a professional swimmer when they grow up, but they should know the basics. They should be comfortable jumping in the water. And we feel like that with engineering and robotics and all these STEM fields.
You can also always find more information on programs and get involved and contact the Robot Garage on their website, therobotgarage.com. Sarah, thank you so much for being with us.
Oh, thank you so much. Have a good week.
You as well. You can also call them 248-723-9100, 248-723-9100. The Robot Garage has 2 locations in our local area in Oakland County where we originate this broadcast 5 days a week, those being in Rochester Hills and in Birmingham. We'll take a break on the Megacast. On the other side, we'll be joined by an individual who is behind a free virtual program happening later this week that will help families that are struggling with the cost of food this holiday season, bridge some of those gaps and help them, of course, address food insecurity right here in Oakland County. That's coming up next. You're watching and listening to the Megacast.
Wondering what to say to someone who's been sexually assaulted or abused?
I believe you. I'm so sorry this happened.
It's not your fault.
Confidential and anonymous help is available at the Michigan Sexual Assault Hotline. Connect with us 24/7. Call 855-VOICES-4 or text 1-866-238-1454 for help. Learn more at michigan.gov/voices4.
What's happening around you? Hear about state events, businesses, and from the people behind them on the Megacast, an hour-long TV, radio, and streaming show keeping you informed on the day-to-day news. Listen in on talks with volunteer groups, documentarians, and financial advisors, Monday to Friday with your host, Tyler Kieft. Catch the Megacast weekdays from 10 a.m. to 11 on Civic Center TV, 89.3 Lakes FM, and streaming on mymytv.com. Watch Civic Center TV with our brand new live captions. To turn on live captions, go to civiccentertv.com and click Watch Live. In your web browser, click on the Options tab in the top right and find the Accessibilities tab. Then just switch on live captions to heighten your enjoyment of our local programming. Thank you so much for watching Civic Center TV.
Let's relish these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the festivals going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date.
Welcome back to the Megacast, our live daily the TV, radio, and streaming show talking about all things Michigan. I'm Tyler Keefe. Learn more about our program by visiting our website at civiccentertv.com/megacast, where you'll find more information on all of our partnering stations across the Great Lakes State, including My Michigan TV, our co-flagship, and find more information on all of our programs. Find us on demand as well, civiccentertv.com/megacast. Joining us now on the program is Lalcha Cunningham from Gesher Gesher Human Services, their financial capability managers. They're holding a class later on this week to help some families and individuals that may be struggling with food costs, given inflation, the state of our economy, and more during this holiday season. Lalcha, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you so much for having me, Tyler.
Appreciate having you on. So this is a program that's coming up later this week, Friday, December 9th from 1 to 1:30 p.m. over Zoom. Tell us about this program, Food and Finances, and how it can help people bridge some of the financial gaps in their life that may be causing a struggle during this holiday season.
Absolutely. Food and Finances is a workshop that we designed to help those families that are struggling with food costs. Food costs is the third largest cost that families incur outside of housing and transportation. And so we wanted to find ways to help them battle the inflation. Inflation's at 13.5% now, which is pretty high for food. And so we wanted to make sure that we were doing our part in the community and creating a workshop to kind of help families navigate through those rising costs.
So give us a little bit of insight into this workshop. What are some of the different subjects that you'll be working on with these individuals or helping them through that may assist them in addressing some of these issues in their daily life?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to provide like tools and resources. We're going to talk to them about meal planning, creating budgets prior to going to the grocery store. I don't want to give everything away, but because we definitely want families to join. But again, we're going to take a really deep dive into helping them, again, manage that food bill. Maybe talk about different brands they can use. Instead of the normal name brand, maybe try some different store brands. Meal prepping. Planning out your menu for the week prior to going to the grocery store. So it's going to be a lot of great information. We're going to talk about some different apps as well that's going to be able to help those families.
And this is all great information too, not just for this time that we're in right now, dealing with inflation, excuse me, at the rate that it's at, but also all throughout the year and every year, as we know, food insecurity affects so many different people, and these financial struggles are a catalyst to that in many situations. So just how much of this information, Lalcha, can then be taken beyond this, and when we're eventually out of this current economic situation and into better times, really help these individuals too?
Yeah, the information that we're going to provide this coming Friday, this is going to be information that they can use, again, throughout the year to come as well. And even just it'll help them kind of change some of the habits as well. A lot of times, we go in the grocery store and we don't have a list and we're just kind of buying everything that we first see. And so, some of the workshop will talk about, impulsive spending to help curb those costs as well. Again, all families, I think can, really utilize a lot of the information that we'll be providing, for days to come.
We're joined by Lalcha Cunningham, the Financial Capability Manager at Gesher Human Services. On today's edition of the Megacast, you can find more information on their programs, including their Food and Finances program, virtually happening on Friday this week, December 9th, 1 to 1:30 p.m. over Zoom on their website, geshermi.org, GESHERMI.org. For more information on this and other services provided by Gesher Human Services. You can also call them for more information and registration as well. 248-559-5000, 248-559-5000 for more information. Lalcha, this is just one program. There's plenty more that are currently ongoing and will be over the course of next weeks and months to help people in these sorts of situations and a number of other ways. Can you explain how this particular program, Food and Finances, connects to some of these others and can really help people that are in a tough financial situation navigate those situations, survive, but also put themselves in a position where they can start to inch themselves away from those sorts of struggles?
Yeah, absolutely. Food and finance is just one piece of it. What we do, on a day-to-day basis, we provide a lot of wraparound services for our participants and people in the community. We handle, credit. We help families rebuild credit, money management skills. We help them create budgets, and we also have plenty of housing resources that we offer. But again, food ties right into all of that. These are wraparound services again that many families need, and they need to be able to find a place where they can go to get the resources. And Gesture, we can definitely make that happen here.
You can register in a couple different ways. You can go to geshermi.org, and also you can do so by emailing financial help at geshermi.org or calling 248-233-4299. Again, the email financial help at geshermi.org, or you can call 248-233-4299. Lalcha, on top of this program, can give us some information too on some of the other ongoing programs or upcoming virtual programs through Gesher of Michigan, that Gesher Human Services, that can maybe help people in tough financial situations while we're in a tough financial situation in Michigan and nationally.
Yep, absolutely. Starting in January 2023, it's hard to even say that now. This year has gone by so quickly. But we're going to be doing First Financial Fridays. That's going to talk a lot about different, things as it relates to your finances, navigating student loans. I know that's kind of a big topic right now. So we'll have some discussion on student loans. Again, we're going to tackle some more about food. We're going to just continue to talk about the rising costs that we're all experiencing, and we'll be doing it in that workshop. And then we also have our homeowners education classes that we do twice monthly. We'll help families prepare for home ownership, but also give them tips on how to maintain their homes for those who are already in homes. Again, a lot of great programs. I just encourage the participants to check out our website and just really go through it. Tyler gave you the phone number, 248-233-4299 is our intake line. You can talk to one of our certified housing counselors, and she can really do a financial assessment for you to maybe see where there's some areas that you need some assistance in. And again, the most of the classes are free. The only ones that we charge for is our homeownership class. And right now we're running a special on that where there is no charge for that throughout the end of the year and even January as well. So a lot of great opportunities for the community to utilize a lot of these different programs.
And Lalcha, who are these classes available to? This program, who is this program available to? Are there any restrictions on it?
Not at all. They're available to everyone. If you need some help, I just encourage you to give us a call. Again, we have certified counselors that are on staff. They're waiting to talk to you about any situations that you may be facing and maybe how to find ways to get out of those situations.
More information can be found on geshermi.com or by giving them a call. Sorry, my apologies. The website is geshermi.org, not .com. And you can also send them an email to register financial help at geshermi.org or call them 248-233-4299, 248-233-4299. That's also where you can call for more information on financial counseling through Gesher Human Services. Lalcha, anything else that we should know at this time that we haven't discussed, or other information people should keep in mind about services provided by Gesher?
Yeah, I think we've covered quite a bit, but again, I just want to encourage families, if you're experiencing difficulties in any of those topics, that we talked about, go ahead and give us a call because we're here to help. Again, majority of our resources are absolutely free to the community. And we just, again, ask that they utilize those resources because they're here and they're available, and we are available to speak with you.
More information can be found geshermi.org. Lalcha, thanks for joining us.
And Tyler, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Happy holidays to you and your family.
You as well. More information again can be found geshermi.org. This virtual program, Food and Finance, is happening Friday, December 9th from 1 to 1:30 p.m. via Zoom. We'll take a break on the Megacast. On the other side, we'll be joined by one of over 320 charities and nonprofits supported on the Share Detroit platform. That's up next. You're watching and listening to the Megacast.
Let's relish these moments, made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the festivals going. by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date.
Wake up, Greater West Bloomfield. Start your mornings with The Splash and tune in for The Splash Live. Get acquainted with people, places, and activities that are live, local, and for you. First thing in the morning, weekdays at 9:30 a.m. on our Civic Center TV YouTube page, or watch us live at Civic Center TV or on Facebook. The Splash Live, Greater West Bloomfield's live update show.
Now that the vaccine is available for children 5 and up, why do you recommend it?
Kids are part of the community and they can spread COVID.
We're seeing both healthy children getting sick from the virus as well as children with underlying health conditions.
They can easily bring the virus home to other people that are vulnerable and make them sick as well.
This vaccine can change that and keep children safe.
It's essential that your children get vaccinated to protect them, to protect your families, and to protect those in the community around you.
Hey Laker fans, do you know a friend or neighbor that volunteers in Greater West Bloomfield? We would love to help you recognize them at the 51st Annual Michigan Week Awards. Countless members of the communities of Orchard Lake, Keego Harbor, Sylvan Lake, and West Bloomfield give their time and talent daily without regard for recognition. You can help recognize these individuals and organizations at our awards breakfast next year on May 12, 2023. Nominate your neighbor or organization starting January 28, 2023. Go to michiganweek.org for details.
I'm feeling good.
Let's savor these moments. Made possible by the COVID-19 vaccine. Keep the dining out going by keeping yourself protected and your COVID-19 vaccines up to date.
Welcome back to the Megacast, our live daily TV, radio, and streaming show looking into all things Michigan. I'm Tyler Keefe. You can learn more about our program by visiting our website on civiccentertv.com/megacast, where you'll find more information on all of our partnering stations across the Great Lakes State, including My Michigan TV, and find our full shows and each individual interview on demand as well. civiccentertv.com/megacast is the place to go for all of that. Joining us now on the program is Kimberly Kleinhans, Development Director at American Indian Health and Family Services of Southeastern Michigan. It's a nonprofit that's providing a community wellness center with approaches including traditional Native American healing as well as modern contemporary Western medicine. Kimberly, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate having you on. First off, just give us a little bit of background on the services that are provided by your organization and who they are available to.
Yeah, sure. So the services we provide include medical, mental health, community wellness, food sovereignty, youth programs, cultural services like sweat lodges and traditional medicines. We offer the community resources when they are available, such as having a backpack giveaway, giving out food boxes, or PPE and sanitizing supplies. We also have a COVID clinic and do COVID testing and vaccines.
And what are some of the tribes locally that you serve through the organization?
Well, there are almost 50,000 Native Americans in our 7-county service area in Southeast Michigan. Some are from local tribes, but many came here in the 1950s as part of a government relocation program. We serve about 2,000 Native Americans as well as other underserved individuals. The top 10 tribes we serve are Sault Ste. Marie, Little Traverse, Oglala Sioux, Pokagon, Little River, Saginaw Chippewa, Grand Traverse Bay Band, Navajo, Cherokee, and Eastern Band of Cherokee.
You can find more information on their website. My apologies, AIHFS.org, or go to sharedetroit.org as well. To find more information, go to the Find a Nonprofit section and search American Indian Health and Family Services of Southeastern Michigan. You can also call them at 313-846-6030 Monday through Friday, or send them an email, info@AIHFS.org. And Kimberly, let's dive in a little bit more into some of the resources and the programs that are provided. You mentioned that it's some of the traditional medicine, medical approaches from Native American history, but also some other services, including mental health, which is such an important thing to be providing services for, especially in communities like Native American communities where there is so much to discuss that needs to be culturally competent as well. Can you tell us about some of those mental health services that you provide through your organization?
Yeah. So all of our services are Native centered, and we utilize Native medicines in addition to Western medicine. We have 3 suicide prevention programs for different age groups. And suicide is a really big epidemic in the Native American community. So it's really important that we're able to have these programs. We have behavioral health therapists on staff as well as a psychiatrist. And we integrate Native American cultural groups such as monthly Indigenous drumming and sweat lodges, as well as men's and women's groups and a Native focused recovery support group.
And how do these all incorporate together to create a better sense of both individual health, but also community health for our Native American community here in southeastern Michigan?
Yeah, so Native American tradition, the community is really important. There's a pretty good, like I mentioned, there's 50,000 Native Americans in Southeast Michigan, and it's really important to work with the whole community because the community is really important for individual health.
More information can be found on the website aihfs.org. It's aihfs.org. You can also find them on sharedetroit.org by searching for them in their Find a Nonprofit section. Call them Monday through Friday, 313-846-6030, 313-846-6030. And something that is mentioned on the website, and we've talked over a couple of times, is how your organization integrates traditional Native American healing and spiritual practices, but also combines that with contemporary Western medicine. How does your organization approach that to provide whole healthcare to your individuals that you're serving, but also addressing the issues that they are going to you to address?
Yeah, so we have 3 doctors on staff. 2 of the 3 are Indigenous, and all 3 are experienced in working with Native American community. We have a cultural services coordinator on staff who is based out of the behavioral health department, but also works with all of the community here. And we also, our patients are about 40% Native American, and the rest really reflect the community here in Southwest Detroit. We have staff members who speak Arabic. We have staff members who speak Spanish. So we're really able to serve the community in a very inclusive way.
We're joined by Kimberly Kleinhans on today's edition of the Megacast from the American Indian Health and Family Services of Southeastern Michigan. She is there where they serve as the development director for that organization. You can find more information in a couple of different places. ShareDetroit.org is one place you can go to find them, and over 300 other charities and nonprofits across Southeastern Michigan. You can also find them on their website, aihfs.org, for direct information and links to resources as well. And something that's really important, Kimberly, through all this, and what's great about the work that your organization is doing, is that it's providing a wide range of care that's also bridging societal gaps in culturally competent care, because as you said, over 50,000 Native Americans in our local area and a number of different tribes that you read off at the beginning of the interview that you served, those all have different cultures of their own, different traditions of their own. And unfortunately, there is a lack of that kind of care available across the union, but also here in the state of Michigan. So how does your organization help to then bridge some of those gaps and provide this culturally competent care that maybe isn't as widely available as it should be?
Mhm. Yeah, so, because we serve a wide variety of tribes, there's a wide variety of tribal traditions that exist in North America. Um, we're located mostly in the Anishinaabe territory, but like I mentioned, people have come here from other places. So we bring in elders that can teach and do ceremonies from different traditions. So we do have Anishinaabe elders as well as Lakota elders and other indigenous elders and teachers come in. So we can really uphold and respect all the different variety of traditions there are in the Native American community in Southeast Michigan.
More information can be found, of course, on their website, aihfs.org. That's aihfs.org, or call them Monday through Friday. Their number is 313-846-6030, 313-846-6030. You can also send them an email, info@aihfs.org, for more information. Kimberly, tell us a little bit about also your Little Dreamers program and your Dream Seekers programs as well.
Yeah, we offer 3 youth and young adult programs that are tailored to each specific age group. They each have age appropriate activities for Native connections and healthy lifestyles. The Little Dreamers is for youth ages 5 to 10 and focused on developing their interests and strengths in various subjects. Little Dreamers is an amazing place to begin learning through fun and engaging activities. And then our Dream Seekers program has been around since 1992, and that's for ages 11 through 17. They have been building a positive support network for Native youth and families while exploring ways to live healthily and break the cycle of drugs, alcohol, tobacco, and violence. So we try to, like other services that we have here, our youth programs focus on balancing the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual needs of the participants.
We're joined by Kimberly Kleinhans, Development Director at American Indian Health and Family Services of Southeastern Michigan, on today's edition of the Megacast. Give them a call Monday through Friday for information on programs and resources, 313-846-6030. You can also learn more information about their COVID-19 resources, medical and behavioral care, cultural and community wellness programs, and more by visiting their website, aihfs.org. Kimberly, in terms of what the community can do to help get involved and help support these programs that your organization is undertaking on a daily basis in our community, what are some of those ways that people can get involved, either through, of course, donations or helping to bridge some of those needs, address some of the needs of your organization, or by volunteering to help as well?
Yeah, so donations are definitely integral to our ability to serve the local urban Indian population. We have a donate page on our website, and you can also donate through the Share Detroit website. As far as volunteers, in warmer weather, we're always looking for help with our garden work days, as well as volunteers are needed for our summer youth program. And you can email volunteer@aihfs.org or contact us through the Share Detroit website.
More information can be found on their website, aihfs.org, or as Kimberly mentioned, also sharedetroit.org, another place to go to find more information on this organization, as well as over 300 other charities and nonprofits across Southeastern Michigan. You can learn a lot from these organizations right there on sharedetroit.org. Go there, find a nonprofit section, search for a local nonprofit of your choice, or for our subject today on this interview, the American Indian Health and Family Services of Southeastern Michigan, and learn more about their programs and learn more about getting in contact with them, volunteer opportunities, donations, and more. ShareDetroit.org, the place to go for all of that. Kimberly, before we let you go, anything else that we should know about American Indian Health and Family Services of Southeastern Michigan at this time?
Yeah, I have some good news. We recently bought 5.3 acres from the Detroit Land Bank near the intersection of Michigan and Livernois for a new facility. We're going to expand and increase what we have to offer, including more dental, pharmacy, and imaging, as well as having enough space to host our annual powwow there rather than renting space from the city. We had a land blessing last August and are looking to start construction in the next year.
Well, that is great news, and certainly a positive thing for us to look at in our community, especially in the Native American community in southeastern Michigan. Kimberly, thank you so much for telling us more about these programs that are available to the Native American community here in southeastern Michigan, and going into some detail about what exactly is provided. We appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me.
More information can be found on their website, aihfs.org. Call them 313-846-6030, Monday through Friday, 313-846-6030, or send them an email about information or any questions you may have on their programs, info@aihfs.org, or go to sharedetroit.org as well for all of that info. That is going to do it for this Tuesday edition of the Megacast. We have a program update for you. Normally, we are a 5-day-a-week live show from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. across our network, live to tape on a couple of other places in Bloomfield area, as well as in Lake Orion and Orion Township. A little bit of a change this week. We have a couple of days that we will be off from our live shows, but we will return on Friday. We have prior commitments with the Michigan Association of Broadcasters and their conference at Ford Field tomorrow morning through the afternoon. So we'll be involved there. You'll find us if you're coming along. Stop by our table on My Michigan TV and Michigan Digital table. Say hello and, hey, inquire about potentially working and joining our team, including our Megacast team right then and there. And then on Thursday, we'll be working with Mitch Album and the Say Detroit team for their annual Say Detroit Radiothon. That's happening Thursday, December 8th from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. You can learn more information about that and, of course, ways you can contribute and help Say Detroit this holiday season by visiting MitchAlbumRadiothon.com or view it on our co-flagship My Michigan TV. We'll have other regular programming across our network from 10 to 11 each day during that time, and we'll return with a new show on Friday morning. Big thank you to all of our guests that joined us on today's edition of the program. You can find all their interviews as well as our full episode on demand this afternoon at civiccentertv.com/megacast. And as always, a huge thank you to our crew that makes this program possible 5 days a week on our normal weeks, and this week 3 days a week. Calvin Brown and Jared Clark hard at work at Master Control each and every day at My Michigan TV. That is going to do it for today's edition of the Megacast. We'll be back soon with a new episode.